Did you know the man who actually made Edison's light bulb work was a black inventor whose name history almost erased? Before Edison, there was Howard Latimer, the true genius behind the light that changed the world. Stay with us, because by the end of this story, you'll see how one man's brilliance illuminated the modern age, and why his name deserves to shine as brightly as Edison's. Welcome to Legends Uncovered, where we bring you in-depth biographies, untold history, and inspiring journeys of influential black figures in science, business, entertainment, and beyond. Stay tuned as we dive into Latimer's extraordinary story of innovation, struggle, and success. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you never miss another story that deserves to be told. When people think of the light bulb, one name comes to mind: Thomas Edison. He's celebrated as the inventor who brought light to the world. But here's the truth. Edison didn't invent the light bulb. He perfected it. And behind that perfection stood a man whose name history buried: Howard Latimer. Edison was a businessman, a showman, a symbol of progress. But Latimer was the engineer who made the dream possible, the mind who turned fragile glass and thin wires into lasting light. So who was the man who lit up Edison's empire? Let's rewind to 1848 and meet the genius history forgot. Howard Latimer was born in 1848 in Chelsea, Massachusetts, to parents who had escaped the chains of slavery. His childhood was marked by struggle, but also by a quiet determination that would define his life. From a young age, he loved to draw, not art for beauty, but drawings of machines, gears, and inventions he imagined. At 15, he enlisted in the U.S. Navy, learning discipline and precision. When he returned, he taught himself the craft of mechanical drafting, the art of bringing imagination to paper. Imagine being a young black man in 19th century America, teaching yourself to design inventions for a world that barely recognized your humanity. Latimer's big break didn't come from wealth or privilege. It came from a pencil, a sheet of paper, and an unshakable belief that his mind could change the world. Latimer's talent soon caught attention. He was hired by a patent law firm as an office boy. But his skill with a pen earned him a promotion to draftsman, an almost impossible achievement for a black man at that time. In 1876, he helped draft the patent for a brand new invention: Alexander Graham Bell's telephone. His precise drawings helped Bell file before his competitors, making the telephone a reality. Before he lit up the world, Latimer helped us speak to it. His hands drew the lines that connected voices across continents. But his greatest idea, the one that would outshine them all, was still waiting. By the late 1870s, the race to create a practical light bulb was on. Dozens of inventors tried, but their bulbs burned out after minutes or hours. Light was fleeting, unreliable, and expensive. Latimer found the solution. He invented a process to create a stronger, longer-lasting carbon filament, the key that made electric light truly possible. In 1881, he patented his process of manufacturing carbons, changing the course of technology forever. This wasn't just an improvement. It was a revolution. Without Latimer's carbon filament, Edison's bulb would have remained a brief spark, not a beacon lighting homes around the world. In the 1880s, Latimer joined the Edison Electric Light Company. He wasn't just an employee, he was an innovator, helping design and install lighting systems in cities from New York to London. He understood both the science and the art of illumination. While Edison's name filled newspapers, Latimer's work filled streets and buildings with steady, reliable light. Edison had the spotlight, but Latimer built the stage. His knowledge bridged science and humanity, turning invention into a force that brightened everyday life. Lewis Latimer didn't stop with invention. He published a book called Incandescent Electric Lighting, sharing his knowledge with others. He believed education was the light that never goes out. He mentored young inventors of color and encouraged creativity at a time when opportunity was rare. Away from his work, Latimer was a husband, a father, a poet, and an artist. He wrote verse about hope and equality, quiet reminders that progress isn't only made in labs, but in hearts. He may not have died a millionaire, but he built a legacy that powers every light around you. His brilliance shone far beyond wealth, so why isn't Lewis Latimer a household name? Racism, forgotten records, and the towering fame of Edison all played their part. In a world that often erased black genius, Latimer's achievements faded from textbooks and headlines. But history has a way of circling back to the truth. Today, his story is being rediscovered in museums, classrooms, and engineering awards that bear his name. Modern innovators see him for what he was: a pioneer, a teacher, and a visionary whose ideas helped electrify the world. The real story of electric light isn't about one man. It's about the brilliance we almost forgot to remember. Lewis Howard Latimer didn't just light a room. He lit a path for generations of thinkers and dreamers. His story reminds us that genius has no color, and innovation has no boundaries. If you were inspired by this story, hit that like button, share this video, and subscribe to keep these forgotten stories alive. Because history is only forgotten when we stop telling it. Watch next: The Black Genius Who Revolutionized Sugar. Norbert Rillieux. New episodes every week. In-depth biographies, untold history, achievements, and legacy.